All right, let's take a look at the price action for the week of August 8th to August 12th, 2022. Kicked it off on Monday, the 8th. Here we are at market open. Going into the open, we were on a triple confirmation sell signal. Obviously, I don't like to take that first bar, so we would wait, quickly. Got a 1 minute buy, and our entry would be right in this area. Looking for that full confirmation. Let's call it 340. And this thing continued upwards. Let's see, 340. Technically, yeah, I mean, technically it would have been out right there for maybe 14 points or so. I ideally would have wanted to hold, but that's a 2 white bar exit right there. So let's call that 13 points. Slowly kind of trended upwards after that a little bit more. Potentially could have gotten back in right in this area on this sweet spot at 390. And yeah, 20 points or so out of that. Didn't really have a chance to lock anything in because the support levels did not go up with it, and so that quickly reversed. And you likely would have been stopped out if you had the stop at the bottom of that bar for maybe 10 points or so, kind of canceling out that first trade. So not a great start there if you took that. Next trade came in right here. Hindsight obviously makes this clear that this wasn't a good entry, but in real time, you'd be getting short right here at 321. Kind of just trudged along, probably have a stop up in this area. It would have been stopped out as we didn't really take off to the downside quite yet. We've been stopped out there. So maybe you're down at this point 20 points or so. Then we got a great downtrend right here. So nice sweet spot, came back up, tested this resistance level, sweet spot right there at 342.5 or so. And have your stop up here above that bar. And it just fell out of bed. So that one was nice right there. If looking for a 50-point profit target, that would have been hit. 2 white bar exit, maybe in this area or down in this area. That was a nice run. And then we got another one right here. Came back up, touched the 1 minute, came back down, red bar, red oscillator, short right here at 89.5. And that thing dropped down to almost 100 points, down to 196 right there. So plenty of opportunity to lock in profit. 2 white bar exit when it had you out right in that area. So slow kind of start. There was opportunity in that first trade, and then kind of a slow start from there. Easily could have been demoralized after the stop out in the sweet spot, stop out right there. That's why you just got to take every signal, because we got a great sweet spot there, and later in the morning, another nice sell signal right here. Only gets you 10 points or so, and ran pretty nicely. So that was Monday the 8th. Let's zoom ahead to Tuesday the 9th and see what that gave us. So here our market open, really large bars, as you can see. Definitely not trying to get in this area after such a massive push to the downside. If this bar was red, potentially, that's the first print of the day. So better to be patient here. Let this all kind of flush out. But here we are, getting a coming up, touching, and technically, see red bar right there. We tested that level. Red oscillator, technically would be short right there, and quickly would be stopped out for about, call it 15 points or so. So 15-point stop out right there. Test that level again, came back down. Here's a red bar and print. Let's see, short right here at 56.5. If you put your bar above that, or your stop right above that bar for a 10-point stop loss, you would have been stopped out using something more realistic like 20-point stop or 25-point stop. you would have been still in that trade, short at 56.5, and that thing fell pretty nicely for a good 70 points or so. Plenty of opportunity to lock in some profit. Might not have gotten out there. Here's a 2 white bar that would have gotten you out. That was a pretty good trade right there. So yeah, so I mean, tough one here because if you put your stop above that bar, you would have been ticked out. But sometimes you gotta let these things just breathe a little bit more than that, just to let it run, especially when you see these large bars like that as well. So that was a nice trade. Might not have caught it if you got stopped out. But moving along here, if I recall, nothing else happened this morning. Technically, here's an entry here. In hindsight, it looks terrible. Real time, that's a valid entry. Short at 94.5. Barely ran 10 points, quickly reversed. Here's a long right here. I probably would not have gone in on this one just with this long bar here. I think I recall this one. Yeah, I would wait for confirmation, which came right here, but then we got a white bar print. And so I'd just be sitting on my hands on this one, wait for a pullback in a sweet spot, something like that. Never got it. And so our next entry didn't come until later in the morning, right in here. I'd be short either on this bar or on this bar, 03.5. Stop goes. I'd put it up here above these bars, which is about 15-point stop loss. 03.5. This thing fell all the way down to 99.63. So that's a good 40 points or so. Plenty of opportunity to lock something in right there. A nice little profit on that little downtrend right there. If you missed out on this long, this nice sell-off right here, you might have been a losing day. That was the big move right there. Zooming ahead to Wednesday, the 10th. I believe CPI came out pre-market, caused this crazy move right there, and kind of threw off the rest of the day, to be honest. The rest of the day was kind of all over the place. Here we are, market open on a buy signal. I'm going to wait for a couple minutes for the market to settle in. Technically, be short in this area right here, 85.5. And I personally would be stopped out right there. I don't really go above sorry, I misspoke. I'd be stopped out right in this area on this one. I don't really use more than 25-point stop. This thing ran almost 20 points, but then quickly reversed. So that'd be technically a stop out. The resistance level up here kept us out of this trade. Nice little short right here though, at 290. It's called 290.5 or 290. This thing dropped pretty quickly all the way down to 238 here. So if you have a 50-point profit target, that would have been hit right there. But definitely opportunity to lock something else in on these quick impulse moves to the downside. Probably better to move your stop loss into this area before it snaps back like it did. There's another nice little trade here. Be long in this area, 54.5, full confirmation at 58. Thing ran up to 82. Then, yeah, if you're following AbleTrend guidelines, technically would have been stopped out for maybe 8-point loss or so. See if we got anything else. There's a losing trade right there. Didn't really go anywhere. Possibly a losing trade here, 72.5. Came against you down to 58. Possibly a losing trade. Not much else happening there. So yeah, that Wednesday was kind of not an ideal day. Honestly, this whole week was not the best week, just to be frank. Well, still got my entries here. This was a rough day. So long here. Here's market open. Waited for it to kind of collect itself a little bit. We got a nice buy signal right there. We didn't test, but I liked that that was the print of the 3 minute bar after the market opened. You know, seen this just take off many times. It didn't happen today. It is what it is. Stopped out quickly. Nothing here, nothing here. In real time, 2 minute was printing on this bar print right here. In real time, it was printing. It didn't confirm. It did close above, so technically it's a valid entry. Obviously, in hindsight, it was a dumb entry, but that was a quick stop out. And then move along, we got this nice massive bar that I did not take because I didn't like this big impulsive move. Obviously, if you would have been in right here, let's call it 520, it went against you about 15 points or so, maybe a touch more, and then ran up to 575 or so. That was a nice little 55 point run, if I'm doing my math correctly. Yeah, so that was a nice run there. Perfect example of why you got to take every single trade that presents itself. Oh, this is a nice little run. So short here, kind of came and started selling off. I got the 1 minute, got the 2 minute, 3 minute confirmation right here. So we're short at 77.5. Stop was up here in this area. Came very close to my stop. And I was feeling the emotions considering my first couple stop outs of the day and missing that one. But we then just absolutely fell out of bed. So short at 77.5, came very close to our stop up here. Then it proceeded to hit my 50-point profit target and went even lower than that, total of like 100 points there. And then we got another nice little impulsive move right here, short at 96.5. Technically would have been stopped out if you had a stop loss above that entry bar. If you used a 20-point stop loss, would not have been stopped out. That thing ran pretty nicely from our entry down to a little over 30 points. So that was a nice run. Quickly snap back. If you're using AbleTrend guidelines, that would have probably been a small loss because you never really had an opportunity to move your stop loss lower. So yeah, that would have been a small loss. That was Thursday the 11th. And to finish this up, today, Friday the 12th, was not a great morning. As you can see, I zoom out, just blah. After this, we slowly grinded higher all day long, very slowly, but the morning was just nonsense. First trade, full confirmation here at 366. Don't love this massive bar, but that was an entry. Obviously, quickly retraced. Full stop out there. Next trade came right in here. Again, don't love this in hindsight, but it's a valid entry. You got full confirmation right here on this blue bar printing. Had the 2 minute coming in here. Full confirmation there. And it quickly retraced. So another good little stop out there in at 25. Stop, I think, was down here for 15-point stop and got you out. Next entry would have been right here at, let's call it 420. Went against you about 12 points or so. Got to a high of 62-ish. White bar exit would have had you out right there for about 20 points, give or take. So made back maybe one of these stop outs. It's just a blah morning. I think I was done after that. Another entry here, and then it was just sideways all day. So rough day today for sure. So that's a recap of the week. A little burnt out after this week, so sorry for that. Cheers.